We're back with some more top 10 lists, this time returning to the Stargate universe with the inaugural TV show of the franchise. In no particular order, these are the top 10 best Stargate SG-1 episodes. Number 1, A Matter of Time. I love me some time dilation. SG-10 becomes trapped on a planet which is falling into a black hole. When they attempt to gate out, the wormhole cannot be shut down, and soon the effects of the black hole are translated to Earth, threatening to suck the entire planet through the Stargate. This is simply a fantastic premise for some mind-bending fun and slow-mo action. Whenever the writers of the show come up with creative ways of utilising their central premise, great things often happen, and this is no exception. The episode almost acts as a thought experiment as we watch how time dilation effects spread further and further into the Stargate base, with characters trying their best to wrap their head around the science in order to solve the problem. Rather than devolving into mindless technobabble, keeping it closer to the actual science of black holes creates a well-balanced episode of intriguing ideas, humour, and visual spectacle. Number 2, The Serpent's Lair. The premiere episode of Season 2 was the finale to SG-1's first real big event, a race to stop an invasion of Earth led by the Goa'uld Apophis, and it does not disappoint. Over the course of Season 1 we've had small skirmishes here and there, but this is the first real large-scale confrontation with the main enemy of the show. Everything which makes a good Stargate yarn is here: solid action, great character interactions, and some well-placed humour. A nice all-rounder of an adventure, indicative of when SG-1 really hits the high mark. Number 3, The Fifth Race. While exploring a new planet, a database of knowledge is downloaded into O'Neill's mind. Soon he starts speaking in an alien language and becomes vastly intelligent. If you're aware of my not at all controversial opinion of Jack O'Neill, an episode where he doesn't talk a whole lot is kind of a treat for me. While I do tire of O'Neill's near constant quipping, I must say that Richard Dean Anderson's physical performance is really enjoyable, not to mention the interesting story developments the Fifth Race introduces. This is the first time the mysterious race known as the Ancients are properly introduced into the series, and even after a combined 17 seasons across 3 shows, the potential for exploration of the Ancients is still largely untapped in my opinion. Their introduction here, not to mention further illusions from the Asgard, opens up the Stargate universe in a broad and fantastical way. Number 4, Unnatural Selection. The Replicators made interesting again. After retaking a previously captured ship, SG-1 is contacted by Thor for help in defeating the Replicators on their colony world Hala. When they arrive, however, they discover the Replicators have evolved into human form. I do like the idea of the Replicators and their design is very cool, but a lot of their episodes became very repetitive. The team shoots some CGI robots while Carter and probably Thor do some technobabble thing to stop them. However, in this episode, the human form Replicators and the clash between them introduces some moral complexity and straight up creepiness to a stale enemy. The mind probing creates opportunities for character development and exploration. The way in which SG-1 uses the Replicators' good nature to ultimately defeat them is all kinds of unsettling, which makes future Replicator encounters develop a personal edge which they were missing before. A very clever way of reinvigorating a villain. Number 5, Prometheus Unbound. While on their way to Atlantis, the Prometheus is attacked and taken over by what seems to be a Cull warrior. After Daniel Jackson is left on board alone, the Cull warrior reveals itself to actually be Vala, an intergalactic con artist. One of the best things the Stargate folks ever did was add Claudia Black to their cast, even just for this episode at first. Michael Shanks and Claudia Black really have a fantastic screen chemistry, and the flirting/arguing while trying to wrestle control of the ship from one another is enough to make this a super enjoyable episode. Although the plot is slightly predictable, Vala's intended scheme no doubt blows up in her face and she has to use the Stargate crew for help, the character is endlessly enjoyable and her dynamic with Jackson is likely why she was added to the main cast in Number 6, Avalon Parts 1 and 2. I make it no secret that I am very fond of the Ori story arc which ran across SG-1's final 2 seasons. Cameron Mitchell, a former fighter pilot who previously helped out SG-1, joins up to lead a new team. When Vala returns to Stargate Command, she tells Daniel Jackson of an incredible new treasure hidden somewhere on Earth. The resulting quest leads them through ancient booby traps, across the stars to another galaxy, and kicking off a new conflict with a terrifyingly powerful new enemy. Including the following episode, Origin, this is a great introduction to this new story arc. It's got everything that makes a good Stargate adventure, just with a new mythology, recontextualizing the show. Also, as a Farscape fan, it's great to see Ben Browder and Claudia Black together again, as this was shortly after Farscape's initial cancellation, although Vala's best scenes are still with Daniel Jackson. This was effectively a pilot for a new Stargate show, supposed supposed to be titled Stargate Command. However, the decision to make it into further seasons of SG-1 doesn't damage the storytelling quality at all. Instead, we have an even more fully formed sci-fi universe to take advantage of, and a new conflict offering new avenues for rich themes and fresh drama. Number 7. CAMELOT. And now the Ori show us what they're really made of. The Ori are preparing to invade the galaxy using a gigantic supergate. While SG-1 attempt to find a weapon capable of defeating the Ori, a fleet is assembled to meet the Ori ships as they invade. This is a great all is lost episode. The final battle sequence is what earns it a place on this list, showing what the Ori are capable of in terms of raw power, utterly wiping the floor with the allied fleet who don't even dent the Ori ships. As a season finale, this is no doubt an episode which left many viewers with their jaws dropped. Number 8. The Pegasus Project. Crossover time! SG-1 teams up with the Atlantis crew to search for an ancient weapon and also prevent more Ori ships from entering the galaxy. My also totally not controversial opinion of Atlantis' quality when compared to SG-1 makes this another real treat for me. Just watching the SG-1 cast interact with the Atlantis cast is almost akin to watching two superheroes meet on screen. And like most superhero team-ups, seeing these personalities clash is enough to be entertaining. But also involving a black hole with Stargate is yet another chance for the show to get creative with some set pieces. Once again, another perfect balance between the light-hearted banter and space opera spectacle. I only wish more crossover episodes like this could have happened. Number 9. 200. If any media franchise has been going for this long, it inevitably devolves into self-parody. But this episode of SG-1 does it deliberately. Because of a broken Stargate, SG-1 have nothing better to do than give notes on the movie version of Wormhole Extreme, a TV show created by an alien living on Earth who had lost his memories, but subliminally pitched real elements of the Stargate program to a network and... well, it's complicated, but what follows is one of the most audacious, fourth-wall-breaking parodies of Stargate itself, as well as loving parodies of Star Trek, Farscape, The Wizard of Oz, Thunderbird / Team America, and the TV landscape in general. I do the episode a disservice to sit here and explain all of the jokes, but safe to say it's a hilarious hour of your time, and a real reward for fans of the show. Sit back, watch, and laugh. Number 10. Lost City Parts 1 and 2. Personally, I think this is where the Gold storyline and possibly SG-1 in general should have ended. After discovering a repository of knowledge, O'Neill once again downloads information into his brain so SG-1 can search for the mysterious Lost City before Anubis launches a full-scale attack on Earth. This really does feel like a series finale, and if it was intended as such, it would have been a great final adventure. This two-parter conjures some previously mentioned episodes such as the SERPENT'S LAIR and the Fifth Race to come full circle with a classic Stargate outing. Intriguing ideas, great action sequences, and all of our main characters being given their moments to shine. Even O'Neill manages to drop his usual shtick for some really poignant moments here and there. The episode has a great pace, which builds and builds until it arrives at this fantastically explosive climax in a battle over Antarctica. Despite my criticisms of the show, it's episodes like these which remind me why I do call myself a Stargate fan. What are some of your favourite episodes? If I missed them, name them in the comments below. Also, if you want to see videos like this early, I have a Patreon. Even the smallest donation helps keep the lights on over here. Until then, have a good one, live long and prosper.